Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about the teams for APAC and Japan. Before we get into that, I just want to say this. Like the video, subscribe, share with people, it would really help. Anyways, now that's all done. Let's now talk about APAC first, and then we'll go over to Japan. Latin America, that one has not finished. I think maybe around June 13th. I will make a video about that, which will be very fun. So we're first off with APAC, and here so this is the group stage teams. So we got Zergia, Team Secret, Onyx Esports, and PaperX. No surprises there. Then we got FW Esports, Oasis Gaming, Alter Ego, and Gaimin, I think as I say, or Gaming Gladiators. Gaming Gladiators is the Laz team from the Malaysia-Singapore region. They were also the team that beat PaperX in the semi-finals. Well, it didn't really matter because PaperX won the whole thing, so it didn't really matter. But still, I mean, great achievement by that team. And then we've got Fantasy United Esports, then Griffin Esports, Global Esports, and Order. So no really surprise on the top row. I guess some surprises, maybe FW Esports and Gaming Gladiators. FW, now there weren't like a lot of things about this team. I really thought Full Sense was actually going to advance, but looked like it was actually FW Esports who did it. And just like I said, they are basically a very mid-tier team. They're maybe A tier, if highest, in the Thailand in the Thailand region. Because it has been, I mean, there's like Zergia, there's like main Thailand. There's Full Sense, which I mentioned before. I don't know if I can really say X10 Crit is really part of that now because of the new roster, because they look pretty bad. But I mean, they're above average team, I'll say that. Waste Gaming, not really surprised. I think they qualified last time, but I might be wrong with that. Alter Ego, they did pretty well. Gaming Gladiators, like I mentioned, I mean they're the only team as of right now who beat PaperX in the Malaysia-Singapore region. Fantasy United Esports, they made like a great run during the low bracket, which was really interesting to see. Griffin Esports, that's basically the best team in Hong Kong, Taiwan. Global Esports, I mean, fine. I mean, they are the best South Asia team, I guess. Enigma Esports, maybe even Orangutan. I think that's how you say the name, Orangutan, which is a new team, well, orgless team that has, I guess you could say, Persia, formerly from Overwatch. And there's this really cracked guy called Tesseract. He is cracked. He's so good. He's also from the Philippines as well. And then we got Order, which is the actual great Australian team. Definitely a team to look out for in their groups. And obviously, I'll talk about the groups as well very, very soon. For the play-in teams, here we have Myth, which I mentioned before. Rex, Regem, Keon, I think that's the name. I mean, the Philippines have been going all crazy. I mean, like, I think like Brent Eastwoods was like a part of it. I can't remember actually who else was in it. There was like Action PH, there was Southfield Esports, and Nals Esports as well. Obviously, Action PH and Nals flopped a bit, but Rex Regem they actually looked really, really good during the group stage. But then they kind of flopped during the playoffs, losing to Oasis Game, who finished 4th place in the group stage. So not really ideal for them, but they still qualified, which is good. Got Boom Esports, no surprises there, and Bleed Esports. Bleed Esports was struggling during the group stage, but luckily they did advance from the playoffs. And then we got Cerberus Esports, which is the best. I think maybe the best Vietnamese team. Fantasy United did a really good job though during the low bracket. Team Big Bang, basically 2nd place, I guess, and behind Cerberus. And then Jeheto Artis, which is a teamless, well, not teamless, an orgless, I think Taiwan team, I think it is. Is it Taiwan? It's a Hong Kong. It's a Taiwan. And they also have Chinese players, which is really cool. And then we got Enigma Gaming, which is basically the 3rd best South Asian team behind. I mean, I guess Global Esports is obviously the best. Then there's maybe Velocity Gaming, and then Enigma Gaming, which is the best South Asian teams. So with all the teams all done, let's now have a look at the play-ins first, and here's like the group stages as well. So the play-ins, so Group A, we have Boom Esports, Made in Thailand, Cerberus Esports, and Enigma Gaming. Then Group B, we have Bleed Esports, Rex Regem, Keon, I think that's how you say his name, Team Big Bam, and Jaheto Artist. So the top two will advance to the group stage. I don't know how how they will distribute the teams, but either way, we just have to wait and see about that. And then Group A, we have Onyx Esports, Gaming Gladiators, and Griffin Esports. Group B, we have Zergia, Alter Ego, and Global Esports. Group C, we have PaperX, Oasis Gaming, and Order. Then Group D, we have Team Secret, FW Esports, and Fancy United Esports. So those are the teams for the APAC Challengers playoffs. Obviously, there are 2 spots up in Masters, so only the teams who qualify to the Grand Finals will actually will make it to Masters Copenhagen, which is the new, which is where Masters 2 is going to be settled in. Let's now have a look. Oh yeah, I should probably also mention as well. That will start on the 9th of June. With, I think it's obviously one of the playing teams. It is Boom Esports versus Cerberus Esports, maybe? Is it? Yes, it is. So Boom Esports versus Cerberus Esports will be the opening match for the play-ins. And then we'll work our way down to the decider match, and we'll see who will actually advance. My pick, in my opinion, I'll probably have to say Made in Thailand is definitely one of them. And then I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to say Enigma Gaming. I think those two are going to advance from Group A. But for Group B is pretty easy. Bleed Esports and Rex Regem Keon. I don't think Team Big Bam or Jaheto Artist have a chance. Let's now move on to the next one, which is Japan. So Japan, not a lot of craziness really happened in Japan. I guess we maybe talk about the Week 1 qualifiers, which is kind of crazy. But here are the teams for stage 2 challenges for Japan. We obviously have the 4 main ones: Northeption, Fave Gaming, Zeta Division, and Reject. I mean, obviously Zeta Division was going to make it in. They were in Masters 1, and they basically had a Cinderella story, just like Paper Rex. Both of them had a Cinderella story. And then for Week 2, we got Sengoku Gaming, Jadiet, Crazy Raccoon, and Blue Bees. Blue Bees has actually been in the scene for a very, very long time. They just didn't have a good roster. It's actually crazy to me that Crazy Raccoon didn't qualify from the Week 1 matches. I actually can't remember who they lost to. I'm just going to have a look. They lost to Northeption. And I mean, this is also a Crazy Raccoon team, which has kind of gotten hit because they've got rid of Munchkin. So Munchkin has left to join T1 over in North America, and they've added Ryan, which means that Asta was the only Korean player in this roster. Everyone else is obviously Japanese, which could maybe cause an issue with communication and everything. I don't know. I mean, Ryan, I didn't watch it, but Ryan, I guess, was pretty decent. They did win against IGSist and Blue Bees. That's why you don't see IGSist in it, because I think they also kind of flopped during this stage. They would have been in the they would have been in Week 1, which is surprising to me. So unlucky there for IGSist. So those are the teams. Just like I said, no really surprises for the top 4. Sengoku has been in the scene for also a very long time. They just mainly been in Vinfield. Jadiet is returning. Crazy Raccoon is also returning. Blue Bees is new. Let's now have a look at the results. Well, not the results. I mean the bracket, I should probably say. So upper quarterfinals we'll have Northeption versus Jadiet, and then Crazy Raccoon versus Reject. Then Zeta Division versus Blue Bees, and Sengoku Gaming versus Fave Gaming. Obviously, I will have my pickems release maybe tomorrow. We just have to wait and see though. So yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. So only Japan, and I'll probably put also maybe Latin America into that as well, because I guess. So you know what? Let's talk about Latin America. Because obviously they've been pretty quiet. So these are the teams. I'll just quickly go over them. Exolite Laser, Fusion Infinity, Sex Karma, Team Cruelty, and Border Monsters. And this is the standings. Exolis, Laser, and Fusion are in the top 2. I mean, those 2 are the best teams in Latin America and in the land. So in the Latin American North side, so I'm not that surprised there. Here's the playoffs. So Exolis, Laser versus Fusion. Whoever wins will qualify. Then in the lower bracket semifinals, we have Team Cruelty versus Six Karma. Whoever wins will verse whoever lost in the upper bracket final. Then whoever wins will qualify. Latin America South, I'll quickly go through this as well. We've got Crew, Leviathan, 9Z Team, Optics, Pampas, and Sun X Set Club. This is the standings. Obviously, Crew and Leviathan, top 2, then Optics and 9Z Team. And then, just like in Latin America North, whoever wins between Crew Esports and Leviathan will qualify into the Latin America Challenges. And then, in the lower bracket semifinals will be Optics versus 9Z Team. Whoever wins will verse up against the team that lost in the upper bracket final to qualify for the last spot in the Latin America stage, in stage 2, I guess we'll say, in the Challenges playoffs. So there's obviously 2 spots up for Latin America South and North. So that is really about it for me. I think that maybe the next one might be about Latin America. It could also maybe be about the North America, EMEA, Korea, and Brazil playoff pickems I'm going to be doing as well. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys all next time in the next one. Goodbye.